31. Grand salute. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Maayong buntag sa tanan and welcome to another episode of Open Line News Media Forum. We'd like to welcome once again our friends from the media. Again, thank you so much for taking the time and the effort to join us this morning where all lines are open to discuss the latest issues in governance, politics, business, economics, tourism, and entertainment. Once again, my name is Andrea Patania Matthew, and of course, joining me as one of the hosts and moderators of this morning's forum is no other than Mr. Eric Espina.
Thank you very much, Andy, and good morning to everyone, our friends from the media, and of course, our guest for today. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Naimbag na bigat, maupay nga aga ha iyong tanan, maradyaw na aldaw sa inyo. Welcome po sa ating programa Open Line. Hitik na hitik ang ating programa ngayong umaga. Kaya we will do the introductions. We'll start with, to my left, we have the EVP, Carlo Suarez of the Hotel and Resorts Association and Restaurant, if I'm not mistaken.
Hotel, Resort, and Restaurant Association of Cebu Incorporated or HRRAC.
Mubura kayo, no? Mubog yun. Mubura kayo, sige. And then next is, of course, our President, Alfred Reyes of the same group. Murag nahimo bag NDRRMC. National Disaster Task kayo, sige. Welcome, welcome. And then to my right, we have Charles Kenneth Co, who's the president of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Good morning. Hello. And none other than the chief executive of Cebu City, we have Mayor Mike Lopez Rama. Mayong buntag kaninyong tanan.
Good morning, everyone. Ubay-ubay gyud ang mga current issues nga nindot tukion karong buntaga, especially no to our friends from the media. We all know that this is the first day of the implementation of the wage hike in Central Visayas. So timing gyud kaayo nga ania ang atong mga representatives sa business and tourism sector to discuss this. I'm sure atong mga friends from City Hall Beat also have a lot of questions reserved for Mayor Mike Rama. But if we can jump off the discussion to the first day of the implementation of the wage hike increase in Central Visayas, we'd like to start with Sir Charles Kenneth ko. Sir, kamusta man ang reception sa atuang mga higala from the business sector in terms of this recent development, Sir Charles?
I think the business sector has accepted the wage hike, and I think it's also even overdue. Our workers deserve a raise. As we know, inflation is quite high. The cost of basic goods, especially food, has gone up a lot. So we hope businesses will also support their employees because they're also integral and vital to running our businesses. So it's important also that everyone becomes productive, so that these wage hikes will not translate to higher prices also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. How about in terms of HRRAC, sir, ato ang mga members of HRRACI in particular, sir, unsa ang ato ang ikasulti about aning recent development, sir?
Same thing with HRRAC. No? We have accepted already the price hike. It's actually due. We know already that the inflation is already going up. No? And aside from that, the gasoline are also really going up almost every week. And yes, it hit us in terms of hotel, no? Since bago rin kita nga ego to last December. But since this is already due to the global effect, we have no choice but really to take whatever is the increases, because this is also for the employees, and we don't want to see that our employees that are really having problems also, because as what we've said, all the prices are really going up.
Sir, as far as we know, there are around 20 businesses or companies that have requested exemption sa DOLE, sir. Sa ato ang nahibaw-an, sir, sa atong mga friends in the business sector, doon na batay mga balita nga doon ay mag-lay off of workers, tungod aning bagong mando sa pagpataas sa sweldo, Sir Charles. Do we have any information on that?
In terms of from among the members of the chamber, we have not heard of any report of businesses closing down because of the wage hike. Although we know we do have some members are closing down, but it's not because of the wage hike. It's mainly because of the pandemic.
Before we ask Mayor Mike what are his plans for the next 100 days, I'd like to ask the business sector. With high unemployment and then interest rates, are we now experiencing some form of stagflation? Anybody can jump in with regards to that question.
Well, on the hotel sector and resort sector, if you've noticed, we are even hiring people. So that's a good news for those who are jobless as of the moment. There are a lot of hotels that are still hiring, and in fact, we are basically looking into the last quarter, and since the Korean flights are already coming in next month, so every hotel right now, especially on the resort and the city, you can see a lot of the hotels that are hiring. So it's a positive note as far as employment is concerned.
About Mr. Charles?
It's a concern that we have in the business sector because interest rates, as you've said, is going up and commodities are going up, and if there's no increase in productivity, there will be stagflation. So we would be cautious of any expansion as of now because we are still focused on the recovery as of the moment.
We have a pending question with Mayor Mike Rama. His first 100 days, how does he predict it? And can we have a gleaning of what his speech will be on his inauguration day?
Morning. Morning.
Morning, Mayor.
At first, let me thank Open Line. And when it's an open line, no holds bar. And therefore, it's all open. Congratulate all of you, Andy, of course, Eric, and Choi for one, had reminded me about today's momentous occasion. Seated with illustrious people, like to my right, His Excellency Kenneth Ko, and then to the far left are the people I've been with, from Adam, Carlo, of course, my basketball Sibba go player, Alfred. And to all of you who are before this very important discussion, again, thank you. If you have voted for me, salamat kaayo. Do not worry, I have forgotten those who did not vote for me. But somehow, I would like to be a part of that very, very important topic on wage increase. Because, for a fact that 27 years I've been a lawyer, but not just a lawyer, I'm a labor management government lawyer. Been exposed for 13 years, Banki, the son of the father, in labor management. My orientation has always been, as my mastery, so to speak, is labor relation. Now, when you talk about collective bargaining agreement, it's not new to me. The strike, also, I've been a part when my company, the British Group and Company subsidiary, Coaco, gotten into certain impasse and thereby ending by democratic rights, which is to go on strike. We did not do anything which is also a lockout, famous during pandemic, but in the collective bargaining agreement, there is a provision there, Mitch, which really brings about the lockout. That when the wage thing will always be a part in the labor parlance, Eric, it is a heated, a very turmoil, volatile issue. Now, definitely, across the board, which is what is happening under the tripartite wage increase formula, will always not going to be received by the union, by the labor front. But whether we like it or not, we've got to think that there is a law. The RTWPB. So that being already in the offer or in the offing, and it's already being implemented starting today. Then business from the side of chamber and from the side of HRRAC, let's all on the part of the city government. Let's not foil or let's not steer, but let's look the facet where all of us will be of contribution so that all this harmony in the labor front will not be affected. So once we can have the harmony, progress will definitely be in the offing. Now, my role as a mayor, 100 days as my co-partner in which we miss him, Choi, in the activity I had. He is the ninong of my son. General Eric Espina is the ninong. And we miss Mitch and both. But nonetheless, looking beyond 100 days, wait for June 30 because I will spell it out. Number 2, what is to be expected? Choi was very emphatic. That issue of garbage, I don't want to be talking from Adam because when we talk from Adam about garbage, I got even an ombudsman case which I didn't do anything but make the city clean when I was the mayor. Then, of course, I cannot be attributing also on what happened years ago because I am only the ascended by operation of law, your mayor. But even if I ascended, I need to bring all towards the word convergence. And with that convergence as a formula, I wish bear with us, bear with the city government. I apologize, but in the days to come, as I have said, San Sebastian College, CHSSC, City Hall, serious, substantial change. And that I can assure you, those who voted for me, even those who did not vote for me, you do not have to worry. I was sharing with Don Joy Torralba, I call him Don, in the media echelon. You should always think about it. A survivor in many tests in his life. Like me, a young wife. Me, a young wife and a 2-year-old. So ladies and gentlemen, I have a platform and it is about Barog, Cebu City. We have to finish the portion of the 21 grand impact social or impact projects na amo ang trabaho. Ako as mayor, Don Hontiveros as the vice mayor. And we have until June 30 to really accomplish all of it. And if some may not be able to have its completion before June 30, napay 3 years. Napay 3 years. O napag 100 days. And how many 100 days in 3 years? Over 1,000. And therefore, support us, bring your idea, and my text, my telephone number is 0917-328-4711. Text me not for money. Text me for solution. do not text me for bashing. Solution. And I will definitely will have it accomplished.
Pwede ba, Mayor, katong imong number nga gihatag, pwedeng isumbong kay Mike Rama?
Pwede, isumbong kay Mike Rama. Basta lang kay dili si Mike Rama mo isumbong.
Thank you, Mayor Mike. Now that we have an idea of the priority projects of Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama, we'd also like to give the opportunity to our other guest speakers to give us updates as far as the Cebu Chamber of Commerce is concerned and HRRAC. We know that we've just launched Cebu Business Month. Sa HRRAC, sir, we just recently have the Cebu Travel Catalog International during the past 3 days. Unsa man atong i-expect, sir, this year from CCCI and HRRAC in particular? Sir Carlo, you'd like to start this time?
Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you for inviting HRRAC in this open line forum. For the tourism industry, particularly the hotel and the resorts, we expect a boom of tourism sometime September, October of this year. Nonetheless, in terms of the employment rate, will be most of us are hiring to support the boom, as well as the countries, the Southeast Asian countries now are slowly opening, and we are very happy with that. We are looking forward for that. Like Japan is open already. Korea will be opening in the next few weeks. So we expect more tourists to visit us in Cebu. So right now, when you go out, it's like normal already. You know? As long as you just wear a mask, then life goes on. So in the business also of the hotel and resorts, we are now offering a domestic market. That's one of our key markets for this couple of months. But the foreign market will come in the next 3 months. So everybody happy. Thank you.
I'd like, yeah. Just to add to the question, your reaction also to the appointment of Secretary-designate Cristina Frasco, and if she was in front of you, what would you request in terms of help for HRRAC?
First of all, we'd like to congratulate Mayor Frasco to be the head of the tourism. We are very proud, Cebuano, for a DOT secretary to be in Cebu. We call it Bisaya na pod ta karon, no? We expect more projects in Cebu. We expect more pipelines to start in Cebu because of her. And at the same time, we are very positive and we want to work together with her and her team to make Cebu the place to be. And we are excited and at the same time vibrant enough to really work together. Thank you.
Just to add what Carlo said, no? The revenge tourism is coming soon. No? And you've noticed that already even in our restaurants. Nibalik na gid sila. No? But of course, we would still remind, of course, wearing of mask. No? Will still be there. But the domestic market are already going out. And even with the resorts and the hotels, we can see already the traffic of the domestic tourism. And as what Carlo have mentioned, we're looking at the third, fourth quarter that we will start receiving the Korean and the Japanese market.
Nice. By the way, this is also live streamed on MyTV Cebu's Facebook page. So sa atong mga online viewers, if you have any questions for our guest speakers this morning, just please type them in the comment section. We have a few comments saying that they're happy to know that the hotel industry is hiring. Sir Charles, again, any updates on CCCI? And the same question by Sir Eric, if there's something that you'd like to suggest to incoming DOT Secretary Cristina Frasco.
Thank you, Rhea, for also mentioning earlier about the CBM opening salvo. I'd like to encourage our viewers to check also the Facebook page of Cebu Business Month. There you'll see our activities this June. Aside from tourism, we also have ICT, which is information technology, and about app developments and startups. Then in July, we'll be also having an investors and entrepreneurship conference. We'll be inviting speakers from Manila who will share how they made their success story happen. And we're also working with the city in terms of investments and encouraging more people to go into entrepreneurship, because this is one of the ways that we can bring a lot of people out of poverty. In terms of tourism, I think the HRRAC has said it best now to prepare for the revenge tourism. So I think it's important to the DOT prepares the infrastructure, our airports, and ports, so that our sites will be accessible to our visitors.
Very quickly, have you come up with some kind of suggestions in order to network with Cebu City, in order to expedite the processing of your papers, the requirements, some kind of a one-stop shop?
Under the incumbency of the late Mayor Gado Colina Labella, they're already in the platform, and it's now being proceeded, the word concierge. And we in the city government, even from the time of my predecessor, Tamios Menya, have always been bringing CCCI, very important facet in Cebu City's progress and prosperity. So with that, Eric, as far as the city government, in the so-called platform, there is Barog. That letter B stands for better business opportunity and employment. So it goes without saying, we are focused, as we had it before already, the one-stop shop in my incumbency, and we must have an aggressive, modified, enhanced with the presidency of Kenneth. And Bani Pahis, the three kings, Rodrigo, Christian Parawan, and the former CCI president, so with June Montuerto. They are the personalities that will be connecting and bringing the city government to CCCI, and we in government to CCCI. So I can guarantee there probably be a regular discussion between CCCI and the city of Cebu. Last, you discussed about the appointment of Cristina Plasco as the new DOT secretary. I do not wish to be telling what we want to suggest. No, that's not my cup of tea suggestion. We should be helping her. And with what Governor Gwen Garcia and us in the city of Cebu, including Lapu-Lapu and Mandawi, we pull all our minds and bring under best practice for the whole country. So I wish that is the direction, Eric, Andy, that we should have.
Mayor Mike, last one from Sir Eric and I before we open the floor for discussions. Nahisgutan naman gyud nato si Gov Gwen, Mayor.
Yes.
And Cebu has been making national headlines for the past few days about this current tug of war between the Cebu provincial government and the DILG and the police about aning mask issue outdoors. Unsa man atong mando, Mayor, sa Cebu City Chief of Police? Mask on, mask off, dakpon or dili?
Very apt question. Do not focus on the governors with the so-called, we call it just intellectual skirmishes, because that is a healthy sign. Democracy in the city, democracy in the province, and democracy in the whole country is alive, like on life. Hence, do not because province and Cebu City, Lapu-Lapu, and Mandawi, we are being referred as the highly urbanized cities. While the province, it's a huge territory. It just nga naabot lang ng intellectual debates or interaction andi, Eric, because of the EO, executive order. When I was asked, should I be following the EO, I need not have to follow. But the truth of the matter, it goes without saying, with or without EO. Right where we are not wearing face masks, are we? Let's not be naive, Mark. Let's just be frank. Number 2, as your mayor, last February 24, I already have declared I issued an EO, kagawasan, with shared responsibility. Amping lang. Huwag yun na mawa ang word, amping lang. Salamat ko sa My TV. Ako ang inaanak si Joanne. Salamat because I've been able to have this articulated. Salamat sa mga medium. National, party aning Wuhan. Ato laning i-master ang Wuhan, we don't even need to be talking about optional. No need. You can intellectually, individually, prudent will dictate. Situation will dictate that you have to remove your face mask every now and then. That's practical. Wa ba mo kabantay maglisod ta usahay o pangitag hangin? Yes, that's the truth. Even we are inside, ato gyud nang tangtangon haron mo gawas ang atong ilong, haron mangita tag hangin. But more now, because of the convergence, because of the multisectoral, nga apil mo, apil tang tanan, we are now 900,000 been inoculated. Your mayor will be awaiting for the second booster. Ato lang guning tumanon tanan, vaccination, the way to liberation. Then, kanarong gilalisan nila, mark my word, in the days to come, September and November, I have already invited the President, and I will invite the Vice President to come, be in Cebu, sinulog, rebirth, renewed, and re-implementation of the physical, and you can see the whole island and the neighboring island. This is our offering to our new Secretary of Tourism. Be in Cebu, Cebuano ni Bay, Arimo, Sinulog, 2022. What ang gingon ayaw mo pag-face mask? Wala ta. We don't even know by that time. Only God knows. But Wuhan, wash your hand, use your face mask, have your temperature, take, avoid crowded places. Never touch your face. Men, mouth, eyes, nose.
The mic is open for questions from our friends. We also acknowledge John Reyes of the PNA, Philippine News Agency. Questions, please. Si Sir Choi, basig na ipakutana si Sir Choi.
Ayun na nag-Choi. Don Choi Toralba. DCT Don.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Mayor Kening, I know one of your, if I remember right, usa sa imong mga traffic solution is that project of flared intersections. And you made that commitment, and that was one of the reasons the flyovers were not never materialized. Are you going to implement that during this term, Mayor?
Thank you kay ng pangutana ni Muchoy. I am already asking my staff of the TWG, Technical working group that when I was the chairman of the Regional Development Council, I wish, I am bringing it in the public, that I would like to be the chairman of the Regional Development Council. I wish the president and whoever at the appointing power right now, because it was in that level, it was in that platform that we highlighted the Mega Cebu. It was in that platform that we give emphasis of the MCDCB. What is that MCDCB? Raul Dilmar, the late, was the author. I do not want to highlight who blocked it. I may, the senator already have that bill in the Senate. It's a follow-through. And I am glad that both representatives, Edo Rama and QT Dilmar, I wish to have a talk with them. Because this TWG did not erase the presence of flyover, but it is only somewhere below. And what you have highlighted, Joy, flare, I have started that, actually. Number 2, setback, Joy. There is a law for that. We will implement it. Number 3, we put pocket, what we call stop area. Number 4, we must always think about reopening roads, because there are roads that are being blocked because of some, what we call either informal or even rich people using it. We will open it. Number 5, definitely I will be pushing in every intersection a subway where you do not have to go above. And you look at what happened in the kaning intersection sa Gaisano, that was my project. That's why we were able to know how maka-U-turn na ka sa Santo Niño, sa San Antonio. Then you can already go Sim Park, gawas ka diri sa BTC. Ako man ang project. But of course, Jack Akusalem, may he rest in peace, we all were in that trust. And now Pani Pahis included. Coco Olganza, by the way, for the information of everybody. I'd like to announce he will be our CTOM board chairman. And with him at the helm, I have a 1992 co-partner in BOPK. I have a public servant par excellence. And he has been retired but not want to be tired. So kanang imuang istorya, Joy, with the integrated traffic management system plus the BRT that I wish to be pushing and has to be very fast, that it will be where now in abot na sa SRP. Last but not the least, I would like to make it official. We are now working even earlier. Come to Cebu for the Sinulog January. And you might be wondering, traffic of people will be there. Who does not want traffic? If there is traffic, Kenneth, there is economic movement, but not terrible, Joy. So I'm now working as your mayor. Even now, I already have an advanced discussion with the incoming Secretary of Public Works, Manny Bonuan. And we talk about the public works to put up 8 bridges, steel or whatever, that will reach SRP by January of 2022. One that will connect SRP to landfill, other one in Poblacion Pardo, 2 in Mambaling, there's already Bistil, 3 in Dulo Fatima, and 1 in Ermita. And with that, you will have to look forward. It's rock. Alfred, be ready to put queues. Put queues. Everything has to be at SRP. the future of the city is not anymore the future. It is already now. And that is also my legacy that I will offer and turn over to former Mayor Tomas Osmeña, who've been with in 1992 and discussing SRP. That is going to be forward-looking. Traffic, we will definitely be aggressive. With Coco Olganza now working with my SRP czar, Bo Marquez, and the new executive order that will sit. I have not mentioned yet the name. I will be enumerating it, and all of these personalities, including Eric Espina, whether he likes it or not, he should be involved in the city governance. Pakpak mo eh.
Follow-up question, Mayor Canning. It is a known fact, no, for the past 3 years during the watch of the late Mayor Labella, City Hall was tainted with so much corruption, especially on the pandemic support, no? Kaning mangutana ko nimo point blank, kaning are you going to go after these people or have them investigated? Because it seems to me they are very blatant in their display of wealth, no? In the mountain, they develop a big property there, and these people are the so-called ungo, allegedly as ungo. And then, we know for the fact, mga kailasan ninimo, kauban ninimo, are you strong enough to run after their neck, Mayor Mike?
See, I told you, I'm not mistaken to call him Don Choi Torralba. Our friendship traceable. Alam mo pangutana ka edad-edara na magawa nga nako, but the Rama and the Torralba emanated in the history in Cebu, in Colon. Mga tao may mga batang Colon apil ko. Anyway, Colon Walking Corporation. Ikadua, when I'm still finishing my term that has not been served by the late Mayor Labella, I've never been stopping, and I have become a broken record, Choi. Bring the liquidation to the council. Now, I have to tell again the local finance. Whatever documents you have, bring it to the council. Now that I am the mayor, and I had also my share of the utilization of the funds of the city hall, bring the liquidation upon my assumption to the council. Third, I have already told my city administrator, Susan Ardusa, please, and local management that I have in my mayor's office. By the way, haron nga, ma-aware mo to prepare all of you, and I need your help. You are part of the wind beneath my wings. You're part of the wind to prepare the city of Cebu to progress, peace, and prosperity with BBM and Lisa, the curing, the healing, the redeeming, and the unifying team. Maybe later on you want to ask me, what do you mean by curing? What do you mean by... I will elucidate succinctly. But let me bring to you, I already had in the council an endorsement to NBI. Joy. Now it's upon the NBI because these are matters really that has to be, and there are already what we call documents, even I do not have to highlight names of a certain contractor. And I want that done, and I'm calling the attention of the NBI. As far as I'm concerned, and Eric Espina knows that. That's why I love this guy. He has no qualms. He has no air. He has the heart and the mind of his father. And we have to leave that as a legacy. No sacred cow. As I said, no sacred cow. And I would love to see tomorrow that I can have a reunity with my mentor, Tomas Osmeña, and share our dreams for what is good for the city of Cebu, together with the governor and all of you a part of.
Can you promise that, Mayor, to our senior Santo Niño that with a solemn commitment that you will go hammer and tong with this
Let me
Ungo?
hammer and tongue. In other words, as I have always been telling, sword of Damocles, when opportune time comes, fall. I will repeat, hammer and tongue, as you've said. But me, sword of Damocles has to fall. For I have been elected. And I went through an ordeal. And I thank God, and you know, last night, you saw me, I'm the happiest man. Very happy because second birthday of my son, my private induction that I have done in my office, private. And you're all invited to join the official induction. Eric, you should be there and meet. And then let it be covered. For I will be setting the direction of what the city will be. And that is making the city like Singapore. I will repeat, making the city like Singapore. And even those who are in the cabinet of our president, whom I wish I will have an audience with maybe by Thursday, and I'm referring President Digong Roa Duterte. I'm inviting them. My kumpare Reyes, and I asked him, Pare, be in Cebu. Let's clean the river. Be in Cebu. Let's work out on what 3-meter easement is. Number 2, I also asked my good friend who knows everything about big impact project before, Babe Singson, former Secretary of Public Works. Then I asked Joseph Jimenez, my professor, who if and when wala lang siya ma-align sa national, could be a good Secretary of Labor. But na may Secretary of Labor, amigo sa nanako, we will have a Secretary of Labor in the city of Cebu, a human resource management practitioner, Vice President of San Miguel. We will bring the best minds who will provide the TDM. What is TDM? Thinkers, doers, and movers. So, Mr. Don Choi Turalba, I am telling you, I mean business. And I really mean business. I have told my relatives, I have told my party mates, and I practically told my only one, my one and only, my wife, Malu. That will be my legacy to the Cebuanos and my gift to my mentor, Tomas Osmeña.
Thank you, Mayor. Other questions from our other friends from the media? Yes, Delta? You'd like to? I know nga ubay-ubay ang giandam nga mga pangutana.
Good morning, Delta Latio from CDN. Mayor, with the current price hike sa ato ang gasoline, no, and our transportation and our individual motorists are already suffering. Dayon nun ba nato ang fuel depot, Mayor? And will we be increasing the number of gasoline discount cards that we will release?
Number 1, let's be positive. And let's bring dynamism and vibrancy in our heart. We had 2 years of darkness. And we are all alive. And let's thank God that we are the survivors. Pakpakan yun na to ang Ginoo. Di lang ba mamamakpapat ang may Ginoo? Bring Senior Santo Niño always hovering in our head. Joy. Joy will always, because Joy is a prayerful person. I can always see him in the church. Mag-abot nindo ka. Ikatulo. Ang problema mag-increase tayo, manira pa ta, mag-increase kining mga wage or fuel, unya atong i-restrict ang mga tao, unsa na lang ato ang itubag sa bugat, sa effect, sa increase. That's why Delta, any program will be welcome if this fuel card matter, and why not? I will sit down with the fuel, especially the gasoline company that allowed the discount card. Then, wala masana mahurot pa ilang ginansya ba? Yes or no? So, let's all bear the brunt. And with the city, with the province, with the new administration, I am very optimistic. Delta, o diya, Disime, wala. Dandin, o niya Suset, no? Suset, no? Huh? Sherisa, and then who else? There, over there. I'm telling you, let's all be positive. Let's all be dynamic. Let's all think being alive. And I am pretty sure we will end up victorious in the days, in the month, in the year to come under BBM and Sara. With a new Senate, with a vibrant Congress, let tomorrow speak for itself. And I'll come back on live and I will tell you what now. I told you so.
Sa fuel depot, Mayor, are we still planning?
Yes, why not? Why not?
Okay, Mayor, next issue, for the punta nga mga fire victims, Mayor, you already said nga ipari-block na to ang area. Will we be building a socialized housing?
It
there?
goes without saying, if the opportunity comes, remember, bragging rights, Joy, reblocking emanated from the deepest portion of my cerebral and mental faculty. Reblocking came about not under my mayorship, if I will have to remember, but the mayorship of my mentor, I believe. And it started June, Sabindra, thank you for your text. I was not able to answer it. Thank you very much. You know, I remember people texting, it's just so enormous. That time is not available. Only every now and then. Makakita ko, yeah, ako katubag. Yes, it's so itong text. But I go through with it. Okay? Anyway, looking into this whole thing about the discussion. So, depo padayon. Okay, katuusa, reblocking, Tipadilla. You know, Angki, when you talk about reblocking, making the lives of the poor better, the middle class comfortable, and the rich to share. And that is what we will be doing, June, when we will bring traffic to SRP. People are wondering, how can you open 8 roads? Sometimes when you worry, there is no opening. But when you are aggressive, passionate, and bring everybody to be a part of it, then there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So, no matter what, reblocking will be there. And nobody should block because your mayor will create an openness. The road to progress is making the poor better.
in particular sa Punta Mayor, aside sa reblocking, will we build a socialized housing?
MRB, Michael Rama building will always be there. MRB mo na rin, no? MRB, medium rise building. Nya mo o man ako nga pa may MR. O, si Tomas TRO, ako motion for reconsideration. Si Tomas, temporary restraining order. I am just, no moment to bare your hearts. I've been telling Choy, kaswerte na to. Pila imong edad mo kinamanghuran, oy. Choy, pila edad mo? Kinamanghuran? 9. Ako 2 years old. Hala, akong edad 67. Alam mo pangutan na pila edad ng Choy. But I'm telling you, let's all bury hatchet. No more time to be talking against destroying each other. No more.
John Ray just told me he was so impressed with you now that you are straight to the point and very sharp. And he said he also answered his question na pareha mo na nimo na minyo patason.
We are not promoting Choi. Thank you very much. John, thank you for that comment.
Any other questions? Any other questions from our friends from the media? We also have Sir Alan Domingo of GMA7. Go ahead, Sir Alan.
Mayor, if we are building a medium-rise building sa Punta, will we be relocating the residents nga na displaced karon?
Relocation is a word that I really abhor, Choi. Integration and temporary. The word temporary, integration, not relocation. What is the difference, Alan? I would like to bring to all of you that CCLEX third bridge came from my head in 2013. It can now be told, okay? Because sometimes, kita good usahay, Joy, lain naging mga administration, makalimtan man. Pero ako, I never remove my memory of my attachment to my mentor. And that's 1992. So, I wish kanang mga inana nga istorya, balik lang gud ta, balik lang ta. No? Yeah. All of this, I will really, and I am very much determined to pursue all integration, relocation, and transfer. The third bridge, Joy, the third bridge has an original alignment, and I am pushing for it. The original alignment of the third bridge will make miracle in the south, John. And that will bring Guadalupe River rehabilitated, and that will bring the 3-meter easement integrated. And I am asking the rich to bear the brunt because I will pursue expropriation. But I need the national government. The Secretary of the National Housing Authority, there'll be more MRBs. Need not have to be somewhere. We can have the MRBs at the coastal. We can have an MRBs in our rivers. We can have it. I am a student of yesterday, John and Choi. The bliss of Marcos, I am fascinated. I had my first in Manila being there in 1976. And I was a student of law in San Beda. And I have gone all over Manila. And there are edifices. And I was there in the Heart Center for 1 month for my brother. And that was 1978. And all of this, folk arts theater, cultural center, apari to Hulu. That's why when Eric interviewed me few days before election, first time I was interviewed in a very innovative at my TV. First picture, bang. Second picture. Then the picture of Tomas Osmeña. What was my reaction? Did you remember, Eric? My reaction, my mentor, not my enemy, only my political opponent. Ikaduha, picture ni Marcos, Papa, Joy, Papa, picture ni Marcos, a great leader with dark years. Then, picture, kisa itong picture dong, sunod,
Importante, Mayor, yung
picture sa akong pamilya. Papagmama, ingon din ko, kay lakon ko, ingon ko ni undang ko tingog, they made me who I am. From my father, the hard work. From my mother, the spirituality. So I'm telling you, my friends, pag abot na gyud sa picture sa akong asawa, akong anak, sus marisip, Choy, hapit na dyan kumihilak, Choy. Sa tinuray. What was my description? Hapit ako nihilak, iba mga ko. I have a yesterday of hurts. I have a yesterday of bitterness. I have a yesterday of rancor. But all of this, because of my passion to serve, I have it left to the corner of forgetfulness. And I said, my family. People is my adrenaline, but my family is everything. I will repeat. People is my adrenaline, but my family is everything.
Thank you, Mayor Mike. We have Sir Alan Domingo of GMA 7.
Okay, mayong buntag. Mayor, clarification lang sa status sa mga mulupyo de Aspunta, Prinsesa, 5 ka sityo ang affected. Makabalik ba sila sa pagtukod sa ilahang mga Pinoyanan?
Very good question. I had already a group organized, overseen by my city admin. By the way, I'm a corporate man. And excellence for me is what I wish all employees at City Hall to really aspire for. And this project of reblocking, Alan, thank you kay Alan, I know you're part of my victory. Kasi sige makapangutanan ako, itong pagod man ako. Ako na nang gi-organize, headed by the city administrator, and bringing people of experience as far as reblocking. At that time, I was the mayor. Colin Russell, Diwo, and etc., including the engineering, even including OBO. My usual order on marching June, no fencing permit will be issued. Number 2, no settlers will be back until order will be in the offing. So this matter will have to be conducted step by step. And I want to have a report because I want them, if and when back, like Lawis, Pambaling. If mabalik ni sila, like in Carita, like in Tijero, like in Ipilia, like anywhere, Pasak Pardo, Basak San Nicolas, Cogon, Pardo, mag-reblock na gali ka, balik yun na. Balik yun na. And let's not talk yet whether it is privately owned or what. For my position has always been, no fire can be a reason for an owner to be back. No fire. Otherwise, we will be propagating arson. And that area, I have known it, it's really a place where we must and make the city government felt.
Follow up lang, Mayor.
Right.
Like kaning mga luna nga pinag-iya sa mga pribadong individual, unsa man ipaliton sa government?
I do not want to talk about it yet. But in Lorega, there were private owners. And we had it all reblocked. So this time, I do not want to answer it now.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, good morning. Desiree Padilla from CCTN Banat News. Mayor, na-resolbar na ba to ang issue since ang DepEd ni hatag nag 15 days nga ang mga na fire victims makastay sa isa sa mga evacuation centers bitaw nato ang Punta Princesa Elementary School. Na-resolbar na ba to since mula na't ginugdugay ang pabalik or ang pag-ayo sa fire scene nato dito, Mayor? Thank you.
I have made a statement, and that has been my order when I was the mayor before. Do not make victims add up with their misery and make them aggravated. Kita nga mga wa masunugi, ug sila nga nasunugan, imo pa nang iputang masuko kay kung bisita ko nga naa sa sahog. Kay inigpahigda nimo sa mga senior citizen, sahog, simento. What are you trying to bring? That's being inhuman. And that furiously will bring me to a state of discomfort. So John, Joy, Mark, Mitch, my marching order to DSWS, to DepEd, and to the disaster, and all City Hall echelon. Let City Hall go where the fire is. And no school should be closed, but have it open, and the rooms should be available. And if schools will be commenced, there are gyms. The local school board can help to put up temporary classroom in that gym. What is my philosophy, Pangki? Ang mga estudyante pila ra man ka oras sa eskwelahan, pero ang mga tao na sunugan nangita og lugar nga makahigda. Nangita og CR for comfort. Nangita og lugar nga makaligo. Nangita nga they are well secured. So DCMA, that has been my position and that should stay. And I will be on top of it.
Last sa ako ang part, Mayor. Ang Cebu City Fire Office ni kumpirmar kagahapon nga intentional ang pagsunog sa area. Nabatay marching orders at ang kabumbiruhan, Mayor?
Kita ka, karon nga ni-confirm sila intentional di ipapriso, then let the prosecution commence. And if they want lawyers, then I will have the city government to stand for them. And I can ask the IBP also, and then WILAC to stand to fight against arsonists. That's why reblocking is the game. And no fencing permit will be issued in favor whoever will ask for it. Otherwise, kung makainom mo ni Adto, dako kay sunog sa Loriga, pero yung dakuha, kainom mo wala. Okay, niabot dito sa dili lang sa Ungkera, niabot pa sa Pilais. Gikan sa Hako Salem. Inumdum na wala. Kung mo kay inumdum, mga batanon mo. Kung kay inumdum mo anak, kami ni Choy, mga mature mi, hamtong. So please, muna iingon ako. Seryoso ko diha, dapita, GCMA, no? And we will really act on it as quick and as swiftly as possible. Kanang kamagayan. Gitagaan ako nag-award John, Pangki, Mitch, Alan. Gitagaan ako nag-award. Andi, moro na'y barangay nga wa maghuot masunog. Ni offer na si Kapitan Raquel Abila. Mayor, after I was able to have the reblocking in Lorega, i-reblock ang Kamagayan. So we did it. We did it. Kanang reblocking, Alan, then din is the way to bring, I will repeat, the poor to become better. the middle class comfortable and the rich to share. So please, muna itong buhaton niya mag-istorya ng mga private or whoever, let's first do what the government should do to help the victim.
Go ahead, Sir Al.
Sige, one last issue siguro kang Mayor. Mayor, with regards sa EO ni Governor Gwen Garcia, well, na tubag na nimo, but doon na siya laing memorandum gipagawas karon with regards sa kanang discrimination against the unvaxxed. Unsay posisyon ni mo na?
Dili ko makig-away sa gobernador. Di sa ko argumento sa gobernador. Because different folk, different stroke man na. John? And therefore, lahi naman ta karon ang level na to sa Cebu City, di na to i-compare sa level sa probinsya. Kita karon, may istorya ta, o makikukalibutan, pila man ka individual sa probinsya ang na-vaccinated. Do you have the data? But I have my data in Cebu City. In pag-ibisitahan ko, and I have to give them my peace of mind, sa DOH o sa grupo namo, they wanted to have the senior citizen. While we are now going over 90% in individual being inoculated, and 100,000 agad. But in their record, lan, liingon sila lan, nga ang senior citizen, ubay-ubay buhol. Inko, para. Dili na eksakto inyong gisulti ha. Kay dagha kayo nga kung gitanaw karon. That's why I'm changing the concept of the OSCA office, Sherwin. And I am very serious about it. That's why my PIO and Eric, you must be on this. Bringing information, dissemination, etc. Nga naman, ingon ko nila, temparagon, inyo bang gi-appeal ang mga bedridden diha? Number 2. Inyo bang gi-appeal ang senior citizen nga nagdawat na authority pero wa nasa Cebu City? Ikatulo, inyo bang gi-appeal diha sa data nga tuwa sa America land anya na authorization? I will squarely confront that authorization. Another one, kanang na GCash na ba na sa siyudad sa Subo? Nagpuyo ba na? Humana ang pandemya. As far as I'm concerned, the threat of virus is not that much as it used to be. Otherwise, as your mayor, I would not have declared the February 24. And there are prophet of doom. Nga inikaman kuno sa eleksyon, iniguman aning pagdeklara nako, musaka pagbalik ang virus. As I said, nganong ka naman ang klase atong utok? Ang atong utok karon dili ta ana. Kay gali ang lipay ko sa statement sa hotel and restaurant. Ngabli na, hiring na, mga but na ang Korean o ang Japanese. Wow! These are all lights already not at the end. It's already before our noses. Hence, let's not talk anymore on this matter. Let's continue. Move. Eskwelahan, mangabli. Agosto. Correct? I will make an executive order. I already made it very clear to Attorney Colin Rosell, my secretary to the mayor, my emissary on executive order, and the action man on very important big projects. Let's go forward. Continue. And even told Secretary Galvez, bring all your vaccine in the city of Cebu. I will take the lead, not just for Cebu City. I will take the lead for the whole Visayas to bring all in the Visayas. Anyway, I'm also offering myself to be the president of all the league city mayors in the country. And once I get the presidency, I will organize all the mayors in the component municipalities, League of Mayors, bring them to Cebu so that we will invite them. Come to Cebu City, where freedom is reigning, but shared responsibility. And we bring them to the shared, what I call best practice, Alan. So therefore, di kay ko mo appeal anang executive order about anti-discrimination, di man ta makig-away. But we are not compelling, we are encouraging. If you love your students, if you love your children, and if you want education open, let's all get ourselves vaccinated. Leadership by example.
Thank you, Mayor. Salamat.
Thank you, Sir Alan. We have a question nga gisan through our live chat from Miss Emma. This is for Sir Charles Kenneth ko. Sir, doon na ba daw kuno tayo updates regarding the dialogue that we've been having with VECO on the high electricity rates in Cebu?
We've been in dialogue always with VECO. There was also a forum in UP where consumer groups were present and who have heard the concerns brought up by the chamber, and VECO is aware of this. But as VECO said, they are trying their best, but these things are not, according to them, they cannot just change it overnight. So we're still waiting on the process. So it's also a factor sa Ukraine war because the cost of power generation is high. So it's not just VECO, no? So if you look at the VECO bill, it has several components. It has generation charges, taxes. So what VECO makes is just the distribution part lang. So it's not just, so it's not everything is under VECO's control, no? But rest assured, we'd also like the public to be more active in looking at their bill, because sometimes VECO also makes mistakes, no? So if there's a wrong computation, you should send it to VECO so that they can recompute your bill.
Addendum. In my dinner with the President, DICT incoming Secretary, Ivan Uy, Bisayang dako na siya, taga Usamis. Among others nga, among gidiscuss dito nga within a distant level, Sinulog, UPAB, barangay election, then there's another one I wanted to highlight. Then the opportunity came and the telecommunication. Second, in that discussion, I injected power. Number 3, water, Alan. In that discussion. When I talk about is Odette, the Odette really brought us to a lesson. How many months? And I was sharing to the President, my God, we had a December that we cannot be connecting with each other. We have a January, still, we did not have light somewhere and all over our city. Water was a problem. So Mr. President, I told him, these are the things that I wish we should be. And I am pretty sure, with the brilliancy of our President, being the son of his father, a learned, young, but not that old also, because he's younger than me, senior citizen at the same time. I'm sure this matter about telecommunication, he had rightly appointed the right man. And the right man was bringing before all of us passion. Number 2, bringing about water, which the dam has to be emphasized. Number 3, all these wires has to go. If we want to be a Singapore and Beko, and who else, and we talk about pricing, I cannot be a spokesperson of Beko. But the national government, I don't think the president will take this lying down. I'm just waiting who is the next Secretary of Energy. Because once the Secretary of Energy is put in place, I will definitely be talking with him. I hate that the matter of ERC is there. Because when you talk about Energy Regulatory Commission, what's going on? It's not the local. Not the local. And we're supposed to be under an constitution of local autonomy. John? And even water. Why things that has to be, and we have to look up to the water international? When hunger, thirst, and all emotions did not come from the national. It emanates from the local. And let's solve it locally. But we cannot solve it locally, Alan, if we do not have a directive. That's the reason why, before ending, as a new termer mayor, let's not continue to be sigig hangad because ang Bulawan anaara sa atong tugkaran. And the private sector that I'm now with, Chamber, the HRRAC, and the media that is really standing firmly, and the church that is with us, and other facet of our society as one, then we can make Cebu City like Singapore. With the help of our president, the more. So Eric will be the secretary like Andanar. I'm not joking. And you will oversee everything about the PIO.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 5 more minutes left before we wrap up the forum. So if we have any pahabol nga questions for HRRAC and CCCI specifically, later on, probably we could informally have a press con with the City Hall beat, our charm reporters. But again, 5 more minutes left. So just very quickly, questions for HRRAC and CCCI before we finally wrap things up. Yes, Sir John Ray.
For Sir Alfred and Sir Carlo, follow up lang ni sa inyong gisulti ganiha that doon na tay mga prospective tourists from Japan and Korea who are coming over. Sir, ang ako lang pangutana is that is there any projection from your end as to kanus or how many months pa nga mobalik ang atoang status sa tourism industry sa Cebu nga katong status sa pre-pandemic pa. Yun ato ka vibrant, yun ato ka daghan. Like kaniadto nga mobisita ta sa Basilica, makakita tag daghang kayong Korean, no, na magsigig picture. Karon makakita ta nagtuo tag Korean pero mga Bisaya ra di ay. So ang akong pangutana, from now onwards, pila pa ka months nga kita ang mga Cebuano nga nibalik na gyud sa to pre-pandemic nga situation sa atoang tourism industry. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. To answer the question, sir, sa pre-pandemic, no, 2019, we would estimate that would be early next year. The tourism sector is recovering. We look on our side in HRRAC, third quarter, fourth quarter will be going back to normal, meaning business is back to normal, but not during the 2019 pre-pandemic stage. Our estimate, my personal estimate would be sometime March next year. That will be on the 2019 pre-pandemic days. But on the next few months, we'll be experiencing influx of tourists slowly, which is positive. And again, with our new DOT secretary from Cebu, we'll be having more tourist projects and tourist oriented projects and also plans to really bounce back the tourism in Cebu. Thank you.
To add what Carlo mentioned, that's really correct. Wherein we can already see the tourism that is already bouncing back. No? In fact, even the restaurants, you can already see na nibalik na gid siya, no? People are already going out. The confidence is already there, especially of the easing of all these protocols. Dako gid kay siyang tabang. Now, on the last quarter, as what we mentioned, na moabot naman ng mga Korean and Japanese. Na in fact, they're already increasing their flights. We will be seeing already. In fact, they've already started this month. No, kita naman mo na sa news ka ng mga ESL na to nagsugod sa nagsugod. Then hopefully, even with our backpackers right now, no, you can see Qatar, you can see Emirates, you can see Turkish Airlines that are really doing their marketing right now, helping the tourism survive. No? And it's really very, very positive. And especially now that we are looking forward towards the last quarter we're in, kanang buwan na mo ginang kitanaw na mo nga makusog gid natong turista. And of course, the local domestic tourism di gid na nato kalimtan kay mao magin ibuhi nato during pandemic with the announcement of Mayor Rama of having the Sinulog in 2023 in January. That will be a really big help for the tourism, and we are looking forward to that, Mayor.
In addition, I love the thank you, HRRAC. Thank you, CCI, bringing a projection first quarter of next year. And as I said, we cannot have tomorrow if we will not work now passionately, aggressively. And let's not be expecting also all of that sudden. Because I'm a believer of Kaizen. Ever since 1992, before, para matagaan tamog highlight, in 1992, but I was already with the British Group and Company in 1984. I will repeat, I'm a corporate man. Kaizen was the philosophy originated in Japan, but mastered by the Americans. 1992, ang istorya, pump priming. And then we call it fast tracking. It is anathema to Kaizen. Because Kaizen, sa Binisaya pa, hinay, basta kanunay, mutunay, ug ang ending, hapsay. Munang Kaizen. Small, continuous, consistent improvement. Kaizen is, we start with small and reach high and big, make it big. In the same manner as a student of pre-med, the smallest particle is an atom. And in fact, atom so small that it ended up World War II, atomic bomb. Now we must always think, June, that if all of us will do our share, I've always been telling, I don't need loyalists. Di ko gunahan na ng sip, 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 sip. Andi. I want, do your job. HRRAC will do their job. Chamber will do their job. The city government will do our job. The church will do their job. Media, do your job. Speak the truth, for the truth will make us free. I'm telling you, all of us, aggressive, passionate, vibrant, and alive. The city government will straighten up. Then January will be the steering time. HRRAC, CCI, I'm only moving. And when everybody is being steered, and Sinulog will be at SRP. In fact, I overheard the governor will go into Pasigarbo sa Subo. A very positive direction. That means festival for all will have to happen, I think, in the month of August. And I have not received the request in my office. but readily I will make a pronouncement. One Cebu Island Festival, one Cebu Province Festival, one Cebu United Action. And I will repeat, do not expect so much that Secretary Cristina Frasco pour in to Cebu City. Yes, charity begins at home, but let's always think she is needed in the whole country. Hence, we do our share. We bring the best practice. And what is the best practice? That Secretary Cristina Frasco, Cos Garcia, the daughter of the governor, the best practice that we should bring to all in the Republic of the Philippines is the human resource that we have in Cebu and the private sector that we have in Cebu and the interfaith we have in Cebu and a very strong fourth estate pillar, and that is media. If we are one, June, I guarantee with Jesus, Santo Niño with us, the miracle infant Jesus, progress, prosperity, peace will not be far behind next year in the economic platform.
Thank you so much, Mayor Michael Rama. Can we give a big hand to all of our guest speakers who are present here this morning? It has indeed been a very engaging discussion. There are so much things to look forward to as far as Cebu is concerned. Unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of time anymore, but in case you still have further questions, probably our guest speakers could address them. Maybe you could email them your questions or text them or contact them. Please just approach them after this forum. But once again, we would like to thank our distinguished guests for joining us this morning. Of course, Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama. We also have the President of Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Sir Charles Kenneth Ko, the President of the Hotel, Restaurant, and Resort and Restaurant Association of Cebu Incorporated, or HRRAC, Mr. Alfred Reyes, of course, HRRAC's Executive Vice President as well, Sir Carlo Suarez. Can we all give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen? And most importantly, to our members of the media, thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. By the way, if you want to replay this episode, just do visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's MyTV Space Cebu. And of course, this has been Sir Eric Espina.
Thank you, and next Tuesday.
We will announce our guest speakers.
Yes.
Daghang kayang salamat, everyone. This has been Open Line News Media Forum.
Thank you.
Thank you.